We know. It's been over a month since our last video. But if there's one thing the beginning of this van conversion has taught us, it's patience. We've been so excited to get this adventure started for the past year, planning everything, looking up conversions on the internet. We just couldn't wait to get our van and start working on it. But then, life happens. It's been a busy month we've had on our hands. And, let's be fair, bad weather hasn't helped. But this has been the opportunity to spend some quality time with friends. Here you can see a couple of our friends from France that are now living their own dream in Montreal, Quebec. It's always nice to share our story and plans with people and get inspired by their own adventures. Plus, they were our very first official guests in our van. They got a first look at what is, well, will be, our next home. Philibert was sure glad to have additional attention for a few days. We really loved that time spent with them and our other close friends that we got to see over the past few weeks. So yeah, we've been patient with our van conversion. But that's what it's all about, enjoying the moments life brings you. So now, winter is finally over in Canada. Let's get to work. Alright, so today's Saturday, we're finally doing something in the van. First mission we're gonna do, we thought about opening the roof to put up the fan, but it's actually freezing cold and it's raining every day, so we can't do that right now. So we're gonna start with framing. We're on the Home Depot parking lot right now, so let's get to it.
much today. We kind of like decided, we talked a lot. You're not going to have that in the video because it was like a lot of talking. Just about the framing and how we want to do the paneling later on. so where to put the stud,
The studs. Yeah.
the stud, in order to have the panels. So explain maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. So what we've decided is we've put stud on both walls, on both sides, in just not in what we call the garage. So the area that's going to be under the bed. So let's see if I can get this right. Yes. So this area here, as you can see, we don't have any studs on the walls right here, but we do right there, so above the bed.
And not in the cabinets.
And not in the cabinets. So the reason why we're not putting some in the garage is because we want to have as much storage space as possible in that area. And so we want to have the walls as far as possible or as close as possible from the van panel, the van
And also
sides.
because we need less insulation there, because it's not like a living space,
Right.
it's just a storage space.
Right.
So it's okay if we have less insulation and if it's closer than the real walls.
Yeah. We know it might be maybe an inch and a half that we're gonna win doing this, but still, it's that's the discussion we had this morning, and we think it's worth it to gain that space and that extra inch and a half in the garage. The reason why we're not putting studs in the cabinets right here, where you can see the cabinets in green, right there, is because same thing, we want as much storage as possible in the cabinets, and we don't really care about how it's going to look inside the cabinets, because they're going to be closed at all times, and when they're open, we're going to have our clothes and like stuff for storage. So we really don't care about how it's going to look, so we don't need a clean panel.
And even if like we're gonna put some foam, we're thinking about spray foam. It's something that we didn't explain a lot yet, but we're thinking of like doing spray foam everywhere. If the spray foam is visible, it could be like not super cool, especially for the clothes. So we're maybe thinking of like just putting like a fabric on top of the insulation. So it's not going to be a hard wall. It's not going to be like a straight piece of wood like the rest of the walls. It's gonna be like a bit different and maybe like not perfectly flat, but who cares? It's for clothes, so who cares?
And so that's for the cabinets over the bed, and that's the same thing here for the cabinets in the kitchen area. So as you can see, we already storing some of the kitchen stuff. Cheers. So this is the very first thing we've done in the van, because we actually wanted to install our fan right there as the first task in the van.
Yeah.
But it's been raining. Like we couldn't get 2 days straight of sun, or at least not rain.
Yeah.
So we're just holding on that for now. Next step, I guess, for the framing, we're gonna have one of the side panels here for the bed. That's gonna be, so the panels are gonna come right here on the studs, but not this area. We're gonna show you maybe a picture. I don't know if we can do that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Of what it's gonna look like. But basically, this area is gonna be wider here. We're gonna have less insulation, because that's gonna be where my feet are gonna be in the bed, and I need all the space I can have, all the length I can have, so I can sleep. Whoa! So I can sleep really laying down, which is usually how people sleep. But,
Yeah, but like you don't have to
right.
fold your legs or whatever.
Exactly.
And also for the framing, we're gonna have to work on what exactly we want to do for the ceiling and for the floor.
And for the floor.
Because same thing for the floor, we don't want to lose too much space, because as you can see, for me, when I'm standing, I've got room.
Oh yeah.
But for Tanguy, it's a bit like less room. Like it's so if we take too much on the ceiling and too much on the floor, like too much height, you're gonna be like just touching the ceiling all the time. So it's not perfect. So we're trying to see exactly what to do. We're still like searching and trying to see what is the best option for us, knowing that most of the time we're gonna be in Canada, so we need good installation.
So we need good installation. Even if that doesn't look like much, it's actually a pretty big step for us because that's the very first thing we've done in the van.
The first holes.
The first holes we've drilled. And so that's not much, but still for us it's like a huge step, big progress, because we're finally doing something in the van. And that feels really good. Like the project is on, so...
Yeah, and the first step will define a lot of what we're going to do later, because as we talked about it now, we know exactly what we're going to do, where we're going to put the panel after.
Yep.
So it's going to be quicker for the next steps.
Yep.
Do you think he wants to say something?
Does Philibert want to say something, maybe?
Right?
I think he's bored right now. He's been with us for like an hour and a half. And that's like his feeding time right now. So he's hungry, he wants to get out, go home, eat, and sleep. Okay, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Be sure to check out our... We need to get used to doing that. Like,
what? Oh, yeah.
Be sure to check out our other videos. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification so you get all the videos.
And follow us on Instagram too.
Instagram and all that good stuff. So, I guess that's us checking out.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. We're really bad at this, so actually subscribe, hit the bell, and like the video.
And like the video.
That's one thing on our list that we need to add. So, bye, guys.
Bye.